The kitchen is done. Looks pretty good. I think it works. Maybe I would like to make this archway a little bit bigger. So I select the object, I come over to the properties, and if I hit the picture, then I have other sizes to choose from. That's 36. Let's see if I can find maybe 10 by 84. Let's try that one. And it just makes a nicer opening into the great room or the dining room. Maybe a little bit too big. Yep, I think so. So I guess we could stick with that, but let's make it smaller. So I don't have a 9 foot is what I want. Oh, I do have a 9 footer. Yeah, so we're good. I like that better. It gives a little bit more return on each side. So now I've kind of laid it out. I know I can keep moving things around if I don't like them. I haven't put the floor in yet, the subfloor or any finished floors, and I don't like to do that until the walls are totally, absolutely, and certainly where they're supposed to be. Because if I move the wall, then I would have to move the floor unless I locked the floor into it. And it just, locking the floor hasn't proven to be beneficial, because if I move this wall out, but I leave this wall here, so I got a jog in it, then part of the floor will move, some of it won't. I still have to modify it anyway. So let's put some doors in now, just to see how, well, let's put an archway here, because we're going to come in from the garage, and this will be where we walk into. Maybe put a little bench here and a closet, and that's the powder room. That's the reach-in closet, guest closet, and that's a very big laundry room. So that might change for sure, but we'll see. Anyway, architecture tab, door. Always save the project. You'll never be sorry that you did, and you might be sorry that you didn't. So let's change the door now to, let's see what we have here. I don't need a double, oh, I want an archway, but not yet. I want to put that door in. So I'm looking for single flush. Let's find 36 by 84. That looks good. I want it to, maybe I want it to swing the other way. So I'll just click this guy. And I don't have, I think I'll move this guy over just a little bit. We're just fine tuning it. That might work a little bit nicer, so that the opening, if the door's open, you can still get all the way into that. So I want to create similar. I just click on that object because I want another archway over here. Thinking that I'll put a bench here. So let's put a door, architecture door. Single flushes. 36 is probably too wide to get into a walk-in closet. Let's do 30 by 84, and we'll swing it in. And I know I want a door into the powder room. So let's put that in there. And we'll go back to 36 by 84 for the laundry room, because we don't need it that big, but we do need a bigger door than might be normally placed, because you have to get the washer and dryer through that doorway. And so it needs to be a little bit bigger. But look what happens here. I wanted to have a countertop over there, and I can't if that's where my door location is. But what I can do, I can take this wall and I can move it another foot. And I'm getting some error messages, but that's all right. We'll just unjoin the elements, and then I have to clean that up now. Let's see what we have here for distance. Yeah, that's better. I have 2'8", and I'll clean this up in a little bit. I'm going to undo that because I think that it might not be a good idea. It's much simpler if that second floor wall goes all the way across. So what else can I do? Well, I could get my additional space by doing this. Let's grab, I'll put a window around everything, and we'll move this over a foot. Let's see what happens if we do that. And it looks like didn't hurt the entry foyer. these walls don't have to line up. I don't see any reason why. And now I can move this door over another foot. So we're working on the fly here, designing it. And that's why I always say it's just digital ink, not to worry about it. All right, so I like that. I'm going to put my countertop in here. Maybe I put the washer and dryer here, or I could put it here. Let's see. Architecture component. Looking for a washer dryer. There we go. Now these are stacked units. Let's do that. I think that might work. And then we'll have a lot of, well, I could have a counter here though. Put the counter all the way around here. Maybe I could put the washer and dryer over here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's grab that, move it over here. Space, flipped it. And that's on an outside wall though, so that's not the greatest because you have plumbing in the wall. That might not be so good. But now I can have countertop. Let's move it up a little bit. I have my countertop coming across. I have a nice countertop. Let's try that. Architecture component, model in place. Now we're going to do a countertop, so we'll say casework. And I always let it default to whatever. I could call it laundry room countertop, but I've never found this to be useful. That information to be useful in my drawings. So I'm going to do an extrusion, and we'll just draw the outline of it. Remember, you give the perimeter of the extrusion, and then I didn't start out very well, so I don't really know for sure where my 2 feet dimension is. So I'll have to go back in and modify it, but it's not a little less efficient way to draw, but I didn't start from a point where I could measure 2 feet out. Trim extend to clean that up. And then we'll just put some dimensions in there and modify those lines. Oh, but I'm not working on the dimension drawing. There, the dimensions are turned off here, so I'll switch to my dimension drawing. Everything is still there. Now I'll be able to see my dimension lines. And I'll just modify these distances to be the 2 feet of the countertop. All right, so click on the object, click on the dimension. Click on the object that I want Revit to move to satisfy my dimension, and it's 2. Click on the object, 2. And I will click on this object right there. Not that difficult to do. I like it. What's my start point? Well, my extrusion starts at 3 feet and it ends at 2'10" or the other way around. That makes it 2 inches thick. I like that. I'll say okay, okay, and no error messages. Final plus. There's my countertop. Put a pantry cabinet in here to put whatever your washing necessities are. Let's just see how wide it is here. 5 feet is plenty wide. And a lot of countertop there. I'm going to put a sink in to architecture component. Let's just search for sink, S-I-N-K. Everything that has a sink in it. This looks good. We can do a single. And let's just put it right there. And I can't see it. Revit's telling me, hey, you can't see the sink. Let's see if we can see it in a different view. In a different view. Yes, we can. So I'll click on that guy. Hit the space bar twice. I want it to be centered on these walls, but I'm not in dimension. So I'll go back to dimension. Again, I can't see the sink. Let's see if we can see it here. See the sink. So VG for visibility graphics, annotation category. I'm just going to type the letter D, which will get me down to dimensions. Dimensions are turned on in this view, so I can see the sink and I can see the dimensions. So let's just go to there. into there. We'll put that right here, click the equal button, and now it's equally dimensioned. I'm going to delete it and say, yeah, it's okay to delete the constraints. And then I can take this and I'll just use the arrow keys on my keyboard. I sink in there. I like it. Let's go back to my sections here. Your sections have that stacked walls. I'm going to grab this pantry right here. Create similar. Go back to the first floor. Put that. Yeah, it's wall based, so I have to put it in here. I have to put it on a wall. Okay. Now, how much width do I have there? Let's just have my dimensions on this drawing. So let's see, what do we got? 3 feet 2. So I'm going to make this guy 3 feet 2 by 2 feet deep. So edit the type, duplicate it. I'll just call it 3 feet by 2 feet. That'll be the name. And I'm going to change the width to 3 feet. And I'm going to change the depth to 2 feet. And say, okay, that looks better. And we'll line it up over here. Okay. So now I have a sort of a pantry cabinet there for whatever you would want to store your washing detergents and such. This guy looks good. Let's align the center of the sink and the center of the window. Save it. Well, it looks pretty good to me. Plenty of folding room. Now let's put in a base cabinet here for my sink. So back to my stacked walls. I'm looking for the sink base cabinet, which is right here. I will say create similar, back to the first floor. I'm going to put that guy right there. And we can see the arrows. So that's the front of it. Now I can align it. I'm just using the align tool to get to the center. And then I will align the back of the cabinet to there. And let's take a look at that. Let's see what we did, because that cabinet might be a little bit too wide. I'm going to pull this section down, right click on top of it, flip the section, and then hover over the line of the section and say, go to view. And that's what it looks like. So I have a small sink, wide base cabinet. Let's see what else we have. We don't need 48 inches wide. What else do we have? We have 30 inches wide. Let's see how that looks. That's a little bit better. We don't need that huge base cabinet for a small little sink like that. All right. While I'm thinking about what's next, I just hit the save button, let the process get saved in the background. And now we can put some more countertops in, or rather some more cabinets in. Assuming that I like it, let's go back to the first floor just to double check it. I can't see the sink here. I haven't cut that. So I'm going to click on the countertop, edit in place, create a void extrusion. I'll draw a rectangle. I just want to be a little bit inside the lip of the sink and a little bit inside the lip of the sink. The extrusion height is fine. It's the same constraints as the countertop, which is what I want to cut. So I'll say okay with the green, and then I'll say cut. Say okay. Let's go back and look at it again here. Now I have cut the hole in there. The hole cut with the sink. And so I actually do like it. I don't think anybody would ever complain about having a nice laundry room like that in their home. Although it's proportional, it's much larger in size for the size of the house. Anyway, let's keep going. So I have all of these tabs open, and I want to toggle my views, but I don't want to see all of those. I have added to my quick access toolbar this icon, which is close inactive views. If you wanted to add that to your quick access toolbar, I think you go to the view tab, and then we're looking for close inactive views. It's up here somewhere. Tab views, tile views. Oh, it's right here, but notice that it's grayed out because I've already added it to my quick access toolbar. But uh, if I wanted to add this tab views, for example, I could right click on top of it and say add to quick access toolbar. So if you want that closed view or any other of the commands on your quick access toolbar, you just highlight it and say add to quick access toolbar. Okay. So I have just this. I want to go back and get my stacked walls open also. And then I'll type WT, and it will toggle all of my tabbed views, but I only wanted this view and this view because I'm going to put my cabinets in my laundry room now. So what do we have? Let's put some drawers. Right click, create similar. Remember the cursor is connected to the back of the cabinet. So let's put that guy right over here. And then I'm going to bring my section, flip it, so that when I look at that view, I can see my cabinet. In the section view, and there it is. So let's go back to the first floor. And how much distance do I have? I want to put a cabinet in there. What's my distance here? It's 1'6". So the widest I can make this cabinet is 1'6", which would be 18 inches. A bit wider. We'll go back to that section view and align to there. Okay, so now I've got that cabinet in there as I like it. Let's go back to the first floor. Oh, it's located correctly in this direction, but it needs to go back up against the wall. Let's click on that and then click on that using the align tool. And that cabinet's in where it should be. So now, should we put some more drawers? Yeah. Create similar, come over here. I'm going to hit the space bar to rotate it around. I'm going to put that guy right over here. I think this view, yeah, you can see the triangles pointing in this direction. So that looks good to me. I want to go to this view in order to start putting those cabinets in. Let's align right here. Then let's do the same thing on the other side of that. I'll use the mirror by the axis. Look at that, beautiful. So how much have I got left now? Cabinets come in 2'3" increments, or rather 3" increments. So how much space do I have here? 2'3". So I could do a 2'3" cabinet. Let's go back to the floor plan. Let's get this right first by aligning to, whoops. I can't see the back of this cabinet. So we'll click on the countertop, come down to the eyeglass and just say hide element. Still there, didn't get erased, but now I can see the back of the cabinet to align this to, and to align this to. Okay. So we had 2'3". Let's do, I haven't used these for a while. Create similar. There it is. Space, space. That's the back of the cabinet. We'll put that right there. We'll make it 2'3" wide. I've selected the object. I've come over to the properties. We're looking for 2'3" would be 27 inches. Don't have one. So we'll edit it. Select this guy, edit type. I want a 2'3". Duplicate what I already have. We'll call it 2'3". And then we'll make the width of it 2'3". Say okay. Now it's the right width. This is the front of the cabinet. Let's align it over here. And then we'll align it to the wall. So that extra distance there, let's double check. It looks like maybe a little bit more. It's 5 inches. All right, so maybe I've made a mistake here or an assumption, or I did something wrong, but that could be 5 inches wider, or 3 more inches. So let's make it 3 more inches wide. So instead of 2'3", we'll make it 2'6". That would be 30 inches. I don't have a 30-inch one. So let's do it. Let's do that too. Edit the type. We'll make it, duplicate it. We're going to call it 30 inches. And the width will be 30 inches or 2'6". That looks better. We have to line them up. Might be a little easier to line these up in the plan view. That's what I want my cabinet to align to. There's a little extra, but remember the cabinets come in 3-inch increments, so the cabinet people would simply put a spacer in there, just a panel, a blank panel that looks like the material of the cabinet, but there wouldn't be anything there. Let's go back to that view. Take a look at it. That's the hinge should probably go the other way, so we'll select it, tab to the first floor, and just click this little button. Back to the that section, and now the hinge, now the panel opens up correctly. And let's be symmetrical, and I selected this guy and I said mirror about an axis, which I just clicked the midpoint of this and it just put it right over there. And that looks like I can see the edge of the countertop, so there might be a little panel here too. Let's see how wide that is. It's more than 3 inches. We can make the cabinet. It's 3 3/4 inches. I'm not going to do anything about that. I could make this cabinet another 3 inches wide, but I'll just let them put the filler in there. All right, back to the first floor. Now let's grab this section, move him over, and flip it, because I want this section to look in the other direction. I can right click on top of it and say flip section, or I can click this little button here, the little arrows, and that flips the section also. So let's go to view. There it is, right there. So I want to put some other objects, some more, what do we need in a laundry room? Drawers would be nice if you're going to put linens and things like that, store them here. Might not be bad, so let's do that. Let's get this guy, create similar, go back to the first floor tab, drag him over, and do that. Okay. Now let's see what we have. I've selected the object, go over to the properties. We'll see. 36 inches would be nice. We'll make a real nice wide one. Okay. I'm going to align it up to the back of the to the face of the gypsum board. And then I will align it up here also. Okay, and maybe I can put another one in. Oh yeah, I have a countertop across there. So let's look at it. Go to view, like that. I think that would be nice. The edge of my countertop is right here. Maybe I'll just put two in, and I'll put two of these in, but they'll be the same width. So maybe I'll make that one a little bit narrower. Um, so let's see, we want to know what distance we have all together. I'm going to change the display to hidden line so I can see that edge better. And let's just measure what's the distance from here to the end of that countertop. And I have 5 feet. So if I made this 2'6" or 30 inches, let's see if I do have a 30 incher. And then what we can do is put another one in. So let's align it for now right here. And then we'll copy this guy here to here. Okay, let's go back and look at that view again. Oh, I have plenty of room there. Look at all that. Oh no, I don't. That's my countertop edge. So I think we're gonna move this guy and this guy over, just nudge them over a little bit with the keyboard, the arrow on the keyboard. Okay, so that works. Save it. I've got one more wall of base cabinets, which would be along here. And we'll just do cabinets like this. What's this? Oh, that's a good one. This is the sink. It goes underneath the sink. That's a little different. So all right, we'll use this one. Create similar. Snap to the back. That looks good. Okay. Let's line to the base of the gypsum board. And then what kind of distance do we have? Approximately from here to here is 6 feet. So we make each one of these 3 feet wide. So that's going to be a 36 incher. I don't have a 36-inch cabinet, so edit the type, duplicate. 36 inches is what I'm going to name it. And then I'll change the width to 3 feet and say, okay. One, we'll look at this section. We'll flip it, flip the section, and go to the view. It's a big cabinet, but we'll align it right to the edge of the countertop. And then we'll highlight it. We're going to pick an axis for it to mirror about, which will be right here. And very good. I'm going to select these two guys, nudge them over just a little bit, and I'll just grab my countertop and bring him back to it. So we'll put a filler in that little spot right there. Hit the save button. And now we're ready to do the upper cabinets. And you can see using these this section that is in your template that has all of these items that are that I use regularly. It's very easy to add them into the project. So we're on this wall. Well, let's do it. Create similar. See if they'll let us put it in there. Yeah, they will. Okay. I want it to line up with the top of the door, so I'll just click right there and there. And we said this was 3 feet, I think. Yep. So let's make these 3 feet. Do we have a 36-inch upper? Yep. Then I can align the edge of that with this, and I'll just make another one. And I'll mirror again about the axis, which is the edge. Now, I have another 2 feet. I have another 2 feet here there's going to be a cabinet on this wall. So let's go back to the first floor. I want to look at this wall. So go to view. And, well, why not? Create similar, but we're going to put it on this wall. Okay. So now I'm going to align it, center of this and the center of this. And this, how wide is this? We're going to make it the same. 30-inch wide. Okay, so the base cabinet is 30. I'm going to make the upper 30. Do I have a 30-inch? Yes, I do. Okay. I wasn't careful in putting it in, so I want to make sure that they align. And now I'll take another one of these, and I will mirror it about the axis, which is represented by the guys on top of each other. So I push it over a little bit farther than it needs to be pushed over, and then put it back exactly where I want it to be. So let's make sure that this and this, I'm using the align by I'm using the align tool. Now they line up. Let's see if and then I'll mirror by the axis here. Yeah, that looks good too. So if we go to the floor plan, you can see that my upper cabinets, I still have a space here, and I will still have a space there too. So let's just put a single one in there. Create similar. Put it on this wall. Oops, that's the back. Yeah, that's good. It should only be 12 inches wide. All right, it's 15. Let's pick the 12-inch. And then we can align there. Right click, create similar, put it on this wall. We'll align it here. And that should be good. I'm not sure why the 12 inches might have to be a little bit less than that, because see, it overlaps. So let's make it 3 inches less. So it would be 9-inch one. See if we have a 9-inch. We don't have a 9-inch, not a problem. Edit the type, duplicate. We'll call that 9-inch. And we'll make the width 9 inches. Remember, they are standard cabinets are come in 3-inch increments, the boxes. All right, so that looks pretty good. We'll do the same on the other side. So I can mirror about this axis, and I get one on the other side. Look at what we did. Make sure it looks good. And look what happened. These two didn't get placed at the right elevation, so it's always good to look at what you're doing. I want to align to there. Okay, a lot of upper cabinets. A very nice laundry room. I'm gonna hit the save button for a second and think about what's left to do. You go to that view. What's left is cabinets across here. Oh, and over here too. All right, well, I want to flip my section view, because now I want to look at it in this view. Okay. Yeah, we'll do doubles. Create similar. We'll just place it right there. And then we'll use, instead of trying to do it by eyesight, I like to let Revit do the work so we get some precision. And I want this cabinet centered on this, and whatever width this is, that's the width I want this to be. So let's see. This is a 30-inch. So let's make the uppers a 30-inch. Do we have 30-inch to pick from? Yes, we do. Now we want to make sure that the center line of that cabinet and the center line of that cabinet line up. That looks good. We've already done it once, so we can mirror about the window to get our other one in there. And look what's going on. I lined up, what's the head height of this? 7'10", okay. The door heights are 7 feet. So I think I'm gonna have to drop my cabinets down, because on this wall, I said I want this cabinet to line up with the top of this door. So we'll go back to that view and I'll use the align tool to line up so my cabinets will be a little, oops, something work. Should have an error message there. Well, just looking to see if I changed anything. I picked the wrong line to that. Okay. And I want to align to that. And align to that. And the window. I click on the window. I said the top of the window was 7'10", not 6'10". So the cabinets will be a little bit higher. Okay. Back to the first floor. I just have to do this, these, and this one. So let's take this guy and just mirror him about this way. It should work. And it did. I just mirrored that one. Which way does this section look? So we're going to flip it. And then we'll move over a little closer. Probably not necessary, but we'll say go to view. How does it look? I think we're going to be all right. We'll just put a little spacer in there. And here, we'll put a double cabinet above. Create similar. I'll just click it on that wall. How wide is this? 18 inches. So we'll make this 18 inches. Should have one. We do. Then we'll align. So we'll align to the top of the cabinet with the top of the cabinet. There we go. What's going on over here? I don't know. Let's look at it in 3D. Put the camera right here and look in that direction. So I got some more space here. All right. Grab it, copy it over. And we'll do the same thing. Create similar, I'll put it right there. Looks like it could be a little bit wider. This one definitely is too wide, so we're going to take that out. And we'll just make this one a little bit wider. Guessing how much space we have there. 1'2", so I can only make it a foot wide. How wide is it now? It's 9 inches. Over 12. Right. And then we'll just put a little fake panel in there. Something didn't look right here though. Not quite lining up. Save it. And so what we've done so far now is our laundry room. Let's go down to the eyeglass and say reset temporary hide. I can see my cabinets now. I guess I can put one over here too. So whatever I have on this side for symmetry, I'll mirror about the center of the sink. I'll have one over there too. All right, there's my laundry room. I like it. Hit the save button. And starting to fine tune. It is actually looking good so far. It's working out.